Restocking a Brunswick Rifle, Part 3, Stock Carving, William Hovey Smith, 2013. I'm the author of Extreme Muzzleloading, and here we do the restocking of an original Brunswick rifle.
This is Hovey Smith, the backyard sportsman, now known as Snaggletooth. Yeah. Now, I had a tooth fall out this weekend, but yeah, that's something that happens to us older guys. Well, this is phase 3 of restocking a Brunswick rifle. And we are in the stock carving stage. You can see this block of wood here, and I've already started on it. And that's what it looked like when I started. And there are those among you who wondered, why in the world am I waiting so long to do this? Well, the reason is this flat block makes it easier to clamp the work down when you're doing serious carving and drilling. And drilling we have done. I have a friend who does pin turning, and he had a bench top drill press which he brought down. And what that enabled us to do is to drill holes in these brass parts that I absolutely just could not do with a hand drill. No, it would take them forever. Now, we made some mistakes. You see, this hole is fairly well centered here, this one is not, and this one is definitely not. If you're going to drill a part with a curved surface like this, you need to take a file, you need to make an X or put a little flat on the top of this rounded surface so the drill bit can get good purchase and go down straight. Otherwise it slips over to one side or the other as it did here. Alright, so that's how to avoid that problem. Now, about other things. This swivel, okay, we changed up on the design of the Brunswick rifle. Actually, this is a barrel lug. It should have a slot in it like this. We drilled a round hole through the stock and through the barrel lug and out the other side to attach the sling swivel. So this strengthens the stock and it goes through the barrel lug. Yeah. So it's retained by metal just like it was originally. Although I did cut the original off. Now here we used a drill, and thank God for this block, by the way. And we were able to go straight through, zip, 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 and then a router, zip, zip, and we opened the hole that we can put the barrel wedge through. And this is all I'm going to do. You could put in one more here, but I'm not going to bother with it. A support here by a barrel wedge and a support here, and with the rest of it glass bedded, yeah, this barrel's not going anywhere. So it'll be plenty well supported as it is. Now, I'm going to bring up the camera so you can actually see me move some wood and show you how to go about it. Now, God loves straight-grained wood and sharp chisels. And we have some of both here, I'm glad to say. Now, when you're working on a block like this, what you don't do is take your biggest chisel and put it right down here against the stock and start pounding on it. No, you work on the edges and then you go inside. So, you work like this, and I always use a wooden mallet and seat your chisel so it'll break off a corner like this, and there's a split. Now you can see how easy it would be to make an awkward move here and all of a sudden you've gone way too deep. So you work cautiously.
Okay? And it's also good if you keep working in one direction. You notice I'm not chiseling on this side and then going to this side. I'm making all the cuts in one direction. Beautiful wood. This is working really, really nice. This is as good a walnut as you're going to find today, so far as its workability goes. This is nice stuff. This is beautiful. Yeah, that's doing exactly like it needs to be done. All right. I get it to a stage something like this, and then it's time to move to a smaller carving tool. All right. Then, when you get it down to about double the thickness you want to keep, that's when you start with a rasp. You don't try to chisel any closer than about right there, for fear of, oh, getting a knot or something, and actually start chipping away at this stuff, which you want to keep. We now have to the stage with the carving tools that this block is thin enough that I can actually start working with it with a wood rasp. And so this is the rasp I'll be using. This is pretty coarse, but this will move wood in a hurry. And then we'll go to a still large but finer rasp, and finally to this before progressing to sandpaper. So we're going to work it down with these three rasps. And these fairly quickly will establish a much smoother surface than we had. Well, you can see that this is smoothing up considerably, and that we're moving some serious wood. So we're going to be about this for probably, with these three rasps, well, a half hour anyway. Well, just to show you how we're doing, now the rest of that swell has been removed with the wood rasp, and I used the coarser one as well as the large file-like wood rasp. So we got that fairly well down. There may be a little slight swell here and a few little surface blemishes yet, like right here for example, but the final sanding will take care of that. So we've got that supporting block, well, yeah, it ain't there no more. Now there's one thing we're purposefully not going to do. This little part here is a retainer for the ramrod, and where it would go would be bedded against the bottom of the barrel like this, with a piercement in the stock and extending down to put spring pressure on the ramrod itself. Well, this weakens the stock and is really not needed. I have recovered some ancient tubes of epoxy that were back in a shed, and these are probably 20 years old. What we're going to do with these is to use these to fill that big gap back of the butt plate. And we'll see if we can get this out of there. Okay. Not too much in the way of hardening compound was left. But the way this feels, it's not going to need much. What this wood dust is going to add some filler to it. Because I'm going to need quite a bit of stuff here. Okay, we're going to call that good. And on the butt plate,
I'm going to start it right here at the top. Oops. Move that corner. Okay. So now we have the butt plate. And we do the magic thing. You see it now? All right. So we have it there, and yeah, that's not going to go anywhere. One bit of fussy stuff with the Brunswick rifle are these brass pieces here, through which the barrel wedges pass. Now, as you can see, this has two long brass spikes that went quite deep into the stock. Well, with this cured wood, it's pretty dodgy to try to drive these things, particularly since I've got fiberglass on the inside. So the first thing we're going to do is trim these a bit. They're all together too long. So we're going to cut them off about here. So we're making little chisel points here. Okay. So this is now ready to put in. And so we place this over the hole. And we additionally index it with a barrel wedge here, okay, and scribe the outside edges. We need to put some stops on here. So you take your chisel and find your lines here and push straight down. Now, by happenstance, the chisel width here is almost exactly the width of the cut, so that makes it nice. And some people think, well, why don't you just put it right up on top? Well, because you actually want it flush with the wood when you sand. And consequently, you have to therefore inlet it for the thickness of the piece of brass. Okay? This stock is also slightly curved. And so you will shape this flexible brass to match the curve of your stock. Okay. So now we sharpen the chisel and we start moving wood. Again, a wooden mallet. Smaller and lighter weight than the last one you saw because we're doing more delicate work. And you don't want to overpower it. Okay. Clean up the edge here. And that's what the point on this little tool is exactly for, is to go ahead and cleaning up your lines and cleaning up your edges and scribing. Okay. But this is fresher than the 20-year-old stuff I was using last time around. Oh, come on now. Okay, that looks good, guys. So we index it with a barrel key again. Put it down, line it up, see how we're doing. Okay, that'll go. I think so. Okay, and a little steel rod here. Okay, so that was sanded down with the rest of the stock now. So now we have two pieces of brass that holds the barrel key. That'll go in from either side.
Among my prize-winning books are Extreme Muzzleloading, Backyard Deer Hunting, Crossbow Hunting, and Practical Bow Fishing. And all of these are available as softcover and e-books. I have an 8-book e-book series out for 2013-14, including building or restoring your own muzzleloader. Now, it is easy enough to mess up the inletting of a muzzleloading rifle using hand tools. And you saw me do it several times. Now, power tools can even mess up one faster. So be patient, go slowly, enjoy the work, even if it is correcting your own mistakes. For info on my books, blogs, and videos, go to my website, www.hoviesmith.com. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye, and God bless.